so lonely. If you leave me, let me down slowly. Let me down.
Who is your most hated TV character? That little beep snitch Randall from Recess. Hated him and his stupid grin.
He's a great character to show kids what they look like when they snitch though.
True. Hate him.
Kevin Cucumber from SpongeBob. He's such a loser. What's with Jimmy Pesto in Bob's Burgers? He's a complete beep hole with the maturity of a 7-year-old. Also, what was with that episode where he and Bob were in a game show and Jimmy won a car because he cheated and then Bob changed his tire fame? That made me so mad. He got no consequences at all. Also, his pizza sucks.
I've heard it said that Jimmy resents Bob since Jimmy is clearly divorced and is not very good at relating to his eccentric children. Whereas Bob is very happy with his family despite being less successful than Jimmy and being slovenly in contrast to Jimmy's being handsome. There's also the fact that Bob opened up a competing restaurant right across the street from Jimmy Pesto's. Plus in the intro we see rats fleeing Bob's Burgers, which would annoy the beep out of anybody in that neighborhood. I love that Jimmy is just a jerk though. On any other show, by season 9 we certainly would have gotten a couple of lame episodes where Jimmy and Bob team up and temporarily become friends.
I read that it's a shame that Bob and Jimmy are enemies, because although Jimmy's food sucks, he knows how to get customers and with fun themes and karaoke and stuff like that. While Bob cooks great food, his restaurant is pretty boring and he doesn't have a lot of customers. So if they teamed up and ran a restaurant together, it would be a massive success. I thought that was an interesting point.
I love Bob's Burgers, but it's always been a kinda sticking point to me that he actually makes good burgers, but the joint is empty 90 of the time. In real life, hipsters would be all the beep over that burger place. It would be on 1,000 apps' cute little seaside burger joint, authentic diner vibes, and eccentric but accommodating staff. Food is amazing, and there's even a hilarious burger of the week pun. Something new every time I go there. Must visit. Brew people go to restaurants where they hit you with branches and spit water in your face to make it feel like you're in a rainforest while you eat a mango that cost 20. You got know they'd swarm Bob's Burgers.
Yolanda from The Wire. Her husband, a high-ranking member in organized crime, gets a life sentence. She gets money from her husband's associates until they cut her off. Her response? Encourage her teenage son, Newman, to deal drugs so she can keep living like how she's used to. The way she reacts to her son's shortcomings as a drug dealer is how you'd expect any other mother react to behavioral or academic issues. When he gets arrested, she's out of town on a shopping trip. She tells the police to keep him and that she won't pick him up. His teacher, who's a former cop, picks him up and Newman spends the night at his house. The mother tells him to stay the beep away from my son. When he drops him off in the morning, their last interaction is her calling him a beep, telling him he isn't a man like his father is, and slapping him in the face for messing up a package. He runs off and refuses to go back. His teacher convinces his father to give him custody, which he does. In The Wire, there were so many beep stains. She may not have had Milo's body count, but it takes a special piece of beep to push your 14-year-old son to drug dealing just so you can continue to live in comfort.
Thank you. I beeping cheered when Weebay went to bat for what was best for his son because beep Yolanda.
Weebay is one of the best characters because of that scene. Really shows him as a character that gets it. There are few characters more self-aware than him.
Weebay had a knack for just accepting the good and the bad and rolling with it to the best of his abilities. Always did his job and accepted responsibility when he got locked up. He's by no means a good guy, but in comparison to the others on the show, including some of the cops, he didn't really feel like a bad guy either, unlike say Stringer or Marlowe. Slim was always my favorite. As far as I'm concerned, he won the game.
The man in Full Metal Alchemist who fused his dog and daughter together.
Shoe Tucker can get beeped.
Shoe Tucker? More like Shoe Beeper.
Deb from Shameless really starts to eat at you after a while.
I stopped watching when she purposely got knocked up to trap that guy, then acted like the victim. After doing that, she proceeded to do a whole bunch of other stupid beat.
It's a shame too. Her character when she was a kid was really interesting. Now she's loathsome. Fiona got really annoying too. It's like the likable characters from the first few seasons became the worst as the show went on, and vice versa. Carl was a little beep, now he's one of the better characters.
I know everyone hates Jimmy and Steve, but boy do I miss and laugh out loud.
Nancy from Weeds after season 1. Damn, what a narcissistic personality.
Nancy, how am I supposed to put food on my table if you keep upping my debt? U-turn, get a beeping job. For me, that was the best line of the whole series.
I like this man. Silent. Good for sneaking up on beepers.
Joffrey, I mean, props to the actor for making him such a little beep, but I really couldn't stand him on GOT.
I feel the same way about Cersei and her actress Lena Headey. She did such an amazing job at making her such a horrible person.
Too bad the entire last season her only job was to look smug and hold wine.
She must have been horrified and furious after reading that S8 script.
Okay, Lena. Your job is to sip and stare. Kit, your job is to say I don't want it over and over.
Please, Kit had more than that. He also said Shez McQueen over and over.
I done one IT.
That would be Tom Yates from House of Cards. He wasn't evil or anything, but his personality, dialogue, voice, hell, even his face, just sucked the life out of me.
A black hole of charisma. Good choice.
He is hands down the most boring, pointless, vapid main supporting character I've ever seen in a show or movie. His appearance is the perfect representation for when that show went downhill.
Ricky Spanish.
Ricky Spanish.
Ricky Spanish.
Ricky Spanish.
Ricky Spanish.
Jed Mosley. With his stupid red boots.
No Condoville, baby doll.
Meg Goodway from Paw Patrol Edit, and Lulu from Word Party.
Oh no, little Billy is falling out of a tree. I better call the Paw Patrol. Cue theme music. Okay, Billy is literally falling as we speak, so we're going to have to act fast. Rubble, I need you to dig a hole where he's going to land. Marshall, fill that hole with water. Chase, block off the area so no one gets hurt. Billy falls into a pool of water and the day is saved. Many cheers were had. No one questioned the ability of the Paw Patrol to bend space and time.
And I think she's corrupt. Why does Adventure Bay rely on an NGO like Paw Patrol for basic services like police and firemen? What is she doing with the town's budget? She's probably stealing it to fund her lavish lifestyle.
There's no minimum wage for dogs.
Chuck on Better Call Saul.
I wish Netflix would hurry up and add season 4 on Netflix. I want to know what happened to Chuck.
I'm kinda jealous you haven't watched it yet. 2020 is too long to wait for 5.
Till season 5 has been pushed out to 2020 beep.
Polly from Riverdale. She can beep off straight to hell.
TBH, Riverdale's gotten so overdramatic and stupid now, but I refuse to stop watching it.
Monica's mom from Friends. I know it's a sitcom and it's played for laughs, but I couldn't stand her. I don't like the type of humor that she brought. The embarrassing, humiliating kind. constantly putting her own daughter down. It never got a laugh from me. Ever.
Carol's a lesbian. She's living with a woman named Susan. She's pregnant with my child, and they are going to raise the baby. Monica's mom turns to Monica. And you knew about this?
100 agree. I also realized the other day when I was watching that she kind of only started being that big of a beep to Monica after Monica got skinny. In all the fat Monica flashbacks she was decent. Probably mad her own daughter turned out hotter than she ever was.
Interesting observation. I never noticed this. I'll keep an eye on it whenever I rewatch an episode with any of those flashbacks. Thanks. These tidbits are always so fascinating to me.
I don't know about this. Monica's often extreme competitiveness probably comes from her mother's abusive ways. According to certain comments and line made by Ross and friends, Monica was already obsessed with being perfectly clean when they were growing up. Also, during the Thanksgiving episodes, you can see how her mom is constantly shoving her aside to talk to Slash about Ross, so the abusive treatment was already there during her childhood.